Hey, Zahidi. Why did no one else think to wake the Outriders up for 30 years?
Well, after what happened to you in the forest, they told us they were trying to find a cure. But they never did.
But if there's no cure, how'd you know it wouldn't kill me when you opened my pod?
I didn't. I'm sorry. I was only considering the uplink.
Sure, got it. Priorities. Notes. Interesting. I found a transfer order that says ECA moved most of the cryopods to a different location. Some B2 facility.
I've got an old map here. Looks like B2 is the big pod across the bridge. Should be on your left.
What's the quickest way there?
Try following the city walls. They'll lead you close to the facility.
inside. I'll look for the cryopods. Jacob, I found Skarstead.
What are you talking about? He's alive?
No. ECA turned him into a terrarium.
Oh, come on! Skarstead? Damn it. I fought with that bastard in Baghdad and Caracas. He never gave up. He was supposed to end his tour of duty on his feet.
They all were. Zahidi, the ECA was experimenting on us. Did you know?
No, I didn't, I swear. But the Outriders were patients zero. It makes sense they would study you. To save others.
And kill half of us off in the process? That is fucked up. Hey, old man. What was this place like back in the beginning?
Oh, it was miracles daily. Industrial printers constructing anything we needed from Enoch's raw materials. In a flash, we were building a city on an alien planet. Until the storms came.
You saw the first storm?
Oh, yes. Lights on the horizon. Machines going wrong. The entire city went black. Just bolts of lightning and screams. I could see people lifted into the air, trees shredded, fires everywhere. Whatever hope for Enoch we had, it was gone in a breath.
What happened after the engine blew?
No electronics, and the sleepers getting woke in thousands an hour when they tried to keep us calm. But there was no food, no medicine, nowhere to hide from the storms. ECA closed the gates and left us all to rot. And we would have too, if not for the altered. I never wanted to be an insurgent. I just wanted what my family had been promised.
Some kind of writing. Place is crawling with insurgents. I need to clear them out. I've cleared the way to your hut, Container 99, but...
Thank you. Please wait for me there.
There's some notes here. What happened here? Whose graves are those?
Sarah, Elodie, Michelle. It wasn't their fault. I was picked as a community leader to distribute food. I admit I kept some for ourselves, for my girls. Was I supposed to watch them starve? I traded for favors. Seemed harmless enough. I only took food. But they took everything from me.
Oh. But you told me you had...
Nothing of value here for me but my memories. Take it all. Then go, please. I'll stay here a little longer.
So what did you find?
No one else made it.
I'm sorry, Outrider. But the fact that some made it, that your cryopods kept humming for all those years, against all odds, you should count yourself lucky.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
I'm sorry you didn't find Outriders still in cryo.
Is that the tower?
Yes, looks like the cable car's down. You might ask those soldiers if there's a way to get them working.
What the hell was that noise?
How about they keep the engine warm?
Can't we just get a fire going?
I'd rather not paint a big target on us.
See anything?
Not a thing.
Maybe you're not looking hard enough.
I'll squint my eyes if you get lost.
Sarah's driving.
A journal.
Ah! Stupid thing!
Holy shit. Did you see the volcano? For a minute there, I thought it was gonna erupt.
Never know with this place. Could be erupting, could be some demon belching up its lunch.
I like to think there's someone up there, looking down on us. Any minute he'll pop out of the clouds and say, "Just kidding."
What are you talking about? There's nothing up there but monsters, ready to swoop down and chew on your ass.
See anything?
Not a thing.
Maybe you're not looking hard.
Dude, Gil saw that altered rip a monster apart right in front of him. Said it was the most insane thing he ever saw.
If we'd had a few more altered around, maybe things wouldn't have gotten as bad as they did.
I can see them, prowling on that ridge.
Let them be. If they wanted a fight, they would have started one.
They might be waiting us out. What if there's more?
Will you calm down?
I can feel them watching us.
Can't wait for the next avalanche.
I see bodies tied up on damn crosses. I run. My mama didn't raise no fool.
Easy! Watch those flames!
Keep in groups of 2, clocking your 6s. I want eyes on all marked coordinates with reports on the hour.
Cable car to the radio tower. Does it work?
Not since insurgents took control. They have the car on their side. You could try saying pretty please.
Thanks, I'll pass. What about the other one?
I wouldn't risk it. Goes too close to the volcano.
Nothing's active?
I mean, it spews lava from time to time, but there's something far less natural lurking in there.
Okay. What's the story with your volcano?
Whatever's in there, even the insurgents keep their distance. We learned the hard way. The thing stayed below the fog, dragging them down the cliffs, spraying flames. I never saw it, just heard the screams. By the time we dragged the cable car back, there was nothing but blood and ash.
So, before I can use the cable car, I gotta go deal with that volcano.
What, are you kidding? You got some kind of a death wish?
Just tell me how to get there.
Altered. I'm Captain Dunham. There's a path that'll take you further up the mountains. There's something out there to fear, all right, but we don't know what it is.
You can forget they could eat you alive. There's something majestic about it.
What did the soldier say?
Only way to the radio tower is those cable cars. How badly do you need that radio tower?
I'm afraid this is the only facility with enough range. If I can't use her frequency to find the signal from that tower, we might as well quit now.
We'll get cozy then. We're gonna be here a while. Seems I got a date with the volcano. much bigger can they get?
Nearly every creature we've encountered on this planet has evolved rapidly since we landed in unnatural and lethal ways. What remains unproven is whether they've been adapting to the anomaly's hostile conditions or being changed by the anomaly.
Oh, what the hell does it matter? Just don't let any of them close enough to eat you.
Yeah, this is a ridiculously long fight here, so I'm not even gonna bother playing music or anything. I know, honestly, it's just a boring fight in my view. At least for the dev when I do it. It was the same when I did another dev playthrough, the one I mentioned I didn't record, and I just deleted and started this guy over to actually record a playthrough now. This boss was way easier for... well, my Trickster also, I think, struggled some, but not as much as my Dev, because the Trickster at this point just gets... I mean, it's funny, because it's... Before World Slayer, the Trickster was the worst, I think, for, like, surviving in the early game. Although you could still, as I did, finally figure out how to make him tanky enough to do it. I remember he was the hardest one to figure out to become a tank. But after World Slayer, they massively buffed his slow trap ability, which had a gigantic cooldown before, so you couldn't really rely on it, was the problem, except for just occasional saves. But after they reduced its cooldown so much, it just became a skill you could use just almost all the time, even in the early game, which it didn't help with this boss much, but at this point you already probably got some gear and other skills that, like, maybe borrow time or something else that you could just spam for shield stacking, and as long as you had a weapon leech gun to go with it, I mean, you're good. Techno and Pyro were super easy, because, I mean, Techno, at this point you had, like, turrets, combined with, of course, probably slapping weapon leech again, plus the Techno already has the best early game boss tanking in the game, because now the Techno struggles, I actually think, in the very beginning because he doesn't have any sort of class heal, which is the best way to heal yourself in the very beginning of the game. Because he doesn't really get much healing out of his turrets and guns in the early game, but that's what helps him survive bosses a heck of a lot easier, though. It's because he could leech off the bosses so much more reliably than the other classes. Since so many of the early game bosses, there aren't any minions that spawn for you to heal off if you're another class. So the Techno, I remember this fight was easy, and also, like, again, he had good damage because of his turrets to still take him out, like, twice as fast as this guy does, even though he was also like a full max health armor build too. And Pyro by this stage would have bullet absorption, infinite volcanic rounds with some LMG that I would make sure probably at least had weapon leech on it at this point. He would have infinite volcanic rounds healing him constantly, combined with Feed the Flames healing him too. That combined with like a max health build on him, he's just not dying at all at this point. Pyro, I've said before, actually I think was maybe the tankiest. Like I think my Pyro has the best the tankiest and the best just overall tank build in the early game, in the level up phase of Outriders. But the dev here, the dev just, oh my gosh, he just always falls behind. Because he gets nothing that helps his damage whatsoever as far as skills go. And, like, yeah, he has some survivability skills, but you can't, especially in the early game when you have to deal with long cooldowns and you don't have all your mods yet to buff them. I mean, you can't rely on the protection skills all the time on him yet. So he can still, I mean, honestly, he still struggles to survive at this point more than my Pyro, I remember, did, just because of that. But then he also just doesn't do as much damage because he doesn't get, you know, infinite volcanic rounds. He doesn't get turrets. He doesn't get, like, Temporal Slice, which is so much better for damage than Earthquake in the beginning of the game, if you compare him to a Trickster, for instance. So, I mean, it's just, he doesn't get much. And then I also realized, this is also why this fight took so long, is because I soon realized, oh yeah, you can't get ammo in this one, and I rely entirely on my primary right now, so I better make sure I don't run out of ammo. That's why I'm just taking pot shots now. It's like, I'm just taking pot shots to activate Fusion Blast mod to slowly kill him and make sure I have enough ammo for the final phase, because I'm like, dude, if I run out of ammo right now, I have nothing to damage him except pretty much just skills, which also don't do much at this stage with how high my world tier is. And, you know, in this game, I would say the first 3 or 4, maybe 5 areas are like the hardest for this kind of challenge that I mentioned, where it's like you play every mission one time, including side missions. But still, you play every mission once, but you keep moving on and you keep staying on the max difficulty the entire time. And you don't stick around to farm at any stage. Like farm a side mission, for instance, which I remember doing in the very beginning. Like when I was a noob, I did that because I thought that's what you should do. Now I realize, honestly, you don't want to. I mean, honestly, if your only concern is practicality, then you would just start like as a level 30 character right off the back with World Slayer and the main campaign skipped. And if efficiency is all you care about. However, I would say that new players, they would benefit more from not doing that, because you don't learn the game that way, and then you're just lost, and you're getting, even though you started a low tier initially, like you're gonna get destroyed soon if you don't know what you're doing. Like, I always say, like, you need to learn the game when you first play, man. That's what I did. And then you learn how to level up the most efficiently, like, what to be on the lookout for as a new player. Which is why I would say, like, the whole, like, playing at the max difficulty, playing every mission once, is something a new player can do if he, like, watches at least some guys like this, and just paying attention to, like, oh, what's his skill tree, and what's his, like, what is he putting his skill points into? What is he focused on in terms of attributes? Because, yeah, you have to change you can't level up your gear, well, you can't, I mean, you can, of course, but, I mean, you cannot keep it leveled up because you do not get enough resources to keep leveling it up. So you're pretty much forced to just constantly swap your gear out. But even then, it's like, you don't have to swap it out constantly. You can wait a few levels, and then you can just focus on, I'm going to swap it out when I get another piece with max health, for instance, or another piece with this mod on it. So tips like that. I also go into later videos where there's an actual exploit that lets you effectively get at least an epic gear full 10 mod build. There's an exploit that basically lets you re-roll crafting. It does not work in endgame because you cannot craft apocalyptic gear, and so it will never work for that stuff. When you get to endgame, it's only RNG, man. That is the only way to do it. But for level up builds, including level up builds that you can design that can still be good in endgame, if not even be endgame builds, in the sense of being like early versions of an endgame build, then yeah, you can actually make a build like that very quickly if you use this exploit later. I haven't used it yet, but I'm 100% going to. I especially use it if I don't get mods yet that I really need. Like if I don't get Damage Absorber, I know, for like the tier 2 tanking related mod, if I don't get that by like Moloch or something, then I'm probably just going to use that exploit and just keep re-rolling till I just get any piece of gear to give me that mod so I can slap it on one of my pieces. So you'll see, I'll be doing that stuff. Although, I literally got the first epic I got extremely lucky, though, as you'll see, because the first epic I got rewarded with had death chains on it. So I'm like, oh, literally my first tier 2 gun mod is death chains, the best tier 2 mod for damage on a gun, especially for a tank build, for damage related. I'm like, and it heals you. That's the other thing. Death chains, any damage over time mods, if you have a weapon leech stat, will heal you based off your weapon leech. Another pro tip for you. Anyway, we finally did it. I had to like conserve my ammo to make sure I had enough ammo, because if I didn't, it would have taken forever, and then I might have died, because it's like, dude, what do I do if I run out of ammo? Because I can't activate anything except my skills. It's going to take an eternity then to kill him. Anyway, I'll go ahead and shut up now, and we'll just get back to it.